you know, I feel like the Warriors, whoever's over there, they're really stepping up the game day experience, just kind of stepping it up just a little bit and a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
whoever's on that, you know, pushing the buttons for the fireworks and all that sort of stuff, and whoever's leading that, keep going. Right?
I can't remember. I can't remember where we were seen. I'd seen the Sorry, Duns. I can't remember where I'd seen the it was like on a commentary, but they were saying that the Warriors, the social media, whoever does that, it's like it's the best in the NRL. You know, other clubs struggled to do what the Warriors are doing, and it's just like, wow, really?
That's cool.
Yeah, so whoever their social media person is, they're banging it out. You know, and people love it. You know, everyone's paying attention to it, even more so now.
Yeah. Well, I hear, like, even on Sens today, I've heard it a couple of times actually from some Australian media outlets that the Warriors are pretty much everyone's second team, you know, over and on. Doesn't matter who they support, but, you know, like, second team is the Warriors, which is really good to hear.
That is good.
And their entrance, their run onto the field, fucking dope, man. That was so cool.
Yeah. It's like rockstar status. It's just like, why? Just the lights behind the players as they're running out through the tunnel stuff, and it's like, and it's like, bro, that, and then how all the house lights go out. Because I was thinking, you know, it must be shit if you're the opposition waiting and then the lights go off. So what the fuck's going on? And you know, the boys are marching out. Yeah.
It'll be horrible for opposition teams to have to stand there and listen to, like, you know, the booing, and then the fireworks for the home team, and then the smoke, and then the loud eruption of the crowd, right? And then the screen's got like all the players' names, and like they're just standing there, right? They just like have to take it. They're just standing there like, when is this going to start?
Those fire machines, bro. Do they have them on both sides?
Yeah, and up on the hill as well.
Flame thrower.
And you can feel the heat coming off them too. Like when it fucking shoots out, you can actually feel the heat from them. I did in Wellington when I went to the Cape Town.
Yeah, it just looks spectacular.
Hats
off to whoever their PR people are. They're doing a mean job.
Yeah. Whoever the marketing and the game day experience and the event organizers. What's that, like my fourth home game this year? Fourth? Yeah, and I think every time they've just kind of added in a little bit more salt and pepper, added in like a little bit more sauce on top of the ingredients, you know. So yeah, no, wicked. Anybody go anywhere, watch it with any kind of man caves or anything? Ty, were you out with your wife again doing shopping? What were you guys up to?
Well, actually, so for my game day experience was an interesting one. So I welcomed a new son in the morning.
Nice, bro. Yeah, I reckon.
So yeah, it was cool. So he must have known that obviously his dad's a Warriors fan, so he came out in the morning to make sure I could watch the game at night. So everything was all good.
Nice.
Yeah, so thanks, son.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was watching with him. That was our first game, watching it together, and I was just on baby duties.
Oh, congratulations, bro. That's mean.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Massive
congrats,
congratulations,
bro. Yeah, hell yeah. Welcome to fatherhood. Right.
Oh, that's the bro's second one.
That's the second one.
Oh, mate.
but it's a whole new experience, it feels like, again, with all these sleepless nights. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Mean, bro.
Congratulations.
Welcome to the world. Welcome to the world. Anybody else go? Damien and Rio, did you guys like hang out together?
Yeah, so my partner and I went to Damien's, and we were late. we left our place late and so I'm driving and I'm speeding. I'm thinking, I've got to get to the game, and almost caused a car accident, but thankfully I managed to dodge the traffic lights and the car, pull it out. So, but we got there, bro.
Yep.
And it was joy. Yeah. Good numbers at Damien's place, and it was just like, bro, mean atmosphere. It was a good night. It was a real good night.
Yeah, I heard from other people saying that was like the best kind of event that they've ever been to as well. You know, on social media and stuff.
Nice.
No,
Just
yeah.
imagine what it's going to feel like in the finals.
Ooh.
Hey, top 4, here we come.
Yeah. You're trying not to say it or think it,
It's
but
hard.
it's real hard, bro. It's real hard not to.
It's hard not to. It's hard not to think it when we're actually there.
Yeah.
It's
And
hard
when you
up, it's hard. But I mean, shit, this is the first time that we've been in the top 4 since for over 20 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
I checked it out since 2002. So 2002 is when we were the minor prems.
Yeah.
And that's fucking money.
Yeah.
Who was Trent Robinson in his first year? I think his first year at the Roosters. I think it was, and they went into the. I think they made it into the top 8. I think they might have even have won the premiership. His first year of taking over as head coach.
2002.
No. I don't know what. It might have been 2000, whatever year he went to the Roosters and took over there. His first year, I think it might have been a premiership. I'm not too sure either that or it was just the top 8. But top 4, man. Haven't seen that, and it's a bit rare,
Yeah. No, because I was going to say, Ricky Stewart was actually the coach of the Roosters in 2002, and I pretty much hated them after that because the post-match interview, one of the comments he made was like, we always knew we were going to win. I said, you're a piece of shit, bro. And just hated the Roosters after that for a long time. But he's an interesting character. He's a colourful character for the game.
Did anyone watch the post presser? Did anyone watch his post?
Yep. What the fuck? That wasn't even a high tackle. That was not a high tackle. From the side-on angle, it looked like he, got his face. But when the camera angle changed and it went on, facing him, it wasn't a high tackle at all, man. Totally missed his face. So we're just lucky that they got it from that camera angle. But what a fucking tangi whittle he is.
Yeah, just the vast difference between him and Webby, eh? Like, Webby's been quite consistent this whole year around just putting the emphasis on what can the boys control. Yeah. I feel like not just Ricky Stewart this year, it's been for a while. It's just complaining about left, right, and centre, what's going on. So,
that's Ricky being Ricky.
Yeah, pretty much, bro. But to his credit as well, during his post-match interview, he done a shout out to Webby, so he had his little bitch and moan, but he kind of acknowledged him and said, Webby's doing a good job with the Warriors, and it's like, didn't have to say it.
I think he wasn't being genuine when he said that. I was just like, but that respect to Andrew, so I was like, fuck, are you being sincere? Are you just being a wanker?
I thought he was being for real, but sorry, bro.
Maybe it's just me being a hater.
I wanna come to you, Damien, like I did in the first Raiders game.
Yeah, bro.
I want to come to you, bro, and talk to me, bro. Talk to me. How are you feeling at the moment? Because I wouldn't even know what this feeling would be like. You must have one side way up here and one side way down here, kind of thing. Is that how it is?
It really is. And to be fair, it's kind of what I predicted. I thought it'd be a close game, but I didn't think it'd be as close as what it was. But I think the Raiders could take some positives out of that. They were down 20-10 with 2 minutes to go. Most teams would have given it up by then, but they scored 2 tries in 80 seconds.
Yeah, man.
It's just unfortunate for them what had happened prior to that. So I think they'll take some positives out of it. But just going back to Ricky Stewart, I think he calls it the way he sees it. He doesn't fuck around with his words. So I do honestly think that's how he felt. And he did say that the Warriors were the better team on the day. So, yeah.
He does wear his heart on his sleeve, Ricky Stewart?
He does.
Yeah. He doesn't mind playing behind.
What I do like about Ricky Stewart is that 90% of the time he's down on that field with his team. He's not sitting up in his box, looking from up there, shouting out fucking over his walkie-talkies down there on the pitch with the boys. And I really like that. Even Webby came out at the end of the game, eh?
He did.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've seen that.
78, 79th minute, he was out there, and that was good to see, because he was just down there like, fuck, boys, you know, you gotta sort it out.
Yep.
Because that pissed me off. That really pissed me off, man, that they scored 2 tries and it wasn't even 2 minutes. It was like a minute and a half.
Yeah, 80 seconds, I think I counted it.
Yeah.
That bummed me out. I was just like, because I was fucking triggered so many times during that game, I swear.
The game
PTSD.
The game was done. The game was done, eh? It was like it was done. It was finished. But the Raiders didn't think so.
No, that's it. So
I mean, in the 75th minute, it was 20-10. So I was like, oh yeah, man, you know, 10 points, sweet. You know, I'm happy with that. Next minute, oh no.
Yeah.
But when I watched the replay last night, I heard Monty on the replay say that the boys fucking made 40. It was in the 40s anyway. It could have been 42, 43 tackles. I think it was an hour and a half before Rapana got that try off that Fogarty boot, that Fogarty bomb. So big ups to the boys, man. 40 tackles.
Absolutely.
You know? And to keep them at bay for that long. But yeah, man, that last 2 minutes was a killer. Was an absolute shit show.
Well, I like how Webby put it though. I feel like sometimes you gotta see what you're like in trouble. And I feel like, to be honest, we're coming into the playoffs. Surely we'll at least make the 8, hopefully make the top 4 to actually experience some golden point experience and know that we can pull it out.
Harder.
That's kind of what I took from the game.
Yeah, and I think it was the first game we've been, the Warriors had been chased like that. Usually, you know, so we've had some big scores. We've put some big numbers on other teams, but it's usually us chasing the opposition. We were, you know, this time it was like they're creeping up on us. How they going to handle it? And even I was saying to Damien Friday night, I actually felt sorry for Croker because he'd already missed that second to last conversion. I know. But I was thinking, if anyone's going to step up, it'll be this guy. I'm thinking it'll be revenge for fucking his 300th and all the rest of it. But then he fluffed it, and I was like, wow, he didn't even look like he was going to get it, mate.
Nah.
I was literally on the fucking edge, like, oh my God, I thought I was going to implode. So I was just like, fuck no, because I think my neighbours were actually having a party because they had their music up real loud, and when I started nutting off, the music cut out. Like, I thought I was going mental.
Right.
That was so satisfying, and no disrespect to, you know, but I breathed a sigh of relief.
No, but Damien's right though. Damien's right, or whoever said it. He didn't even look like getting it.
No.
His face was on the screen. His face was on the massive screen, and everyone could see the fear in his eyes. Like, I'm just calling it how it is. You know, I'm just calling it how it is. And I think I mean it was a brutal game anyway, so he's obviously fatigued at this stage.
Yeah.
It's the 80 the bloody 79th minute or the 80th minute, whatever the hell it was. Fatigued as hell. And he just missed.
For both teams, man, because the fucking Raiders defense was just probably the best I've seen it this year. And ours. You know, like the Raiders defended for a long time too. I mean, we got 20 points. We didn't score again. Fuck, I wrote it down somewhere.
58th minute, was it?
Yeah, they kept us.
Long spells. They were real long spells.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we scored in the first 4 minutes and then right on half time. And it was just like, wow. Going into the second half was just, it took us a while they held us out.
I don't know about you guys, but like that final 10 minutes, the final 10 minutes of the second half felt like the longest 10 minutes of my life. It was just like, it was a bit flat. We were all a bit flat, and like we didn't really look like we're going anywhere. Well, actually, they were hitting us real hard, but I was just like, fucking hell, this half is going on forever.
What do you think? Because to be honest, even with our losses during the season, I thought, I actually I didn't appreciate their attack. I think, I don't know what it was. Do you think it's because, they know that they're playing for a top 4 position on the ladder, that they were nervous?
Us.
I think a 5-day turnaround's probably got something to do with it.
I agree.
Because when I messaged you guys as well, I was like, these guys look a little bit flat or a little bit gassed. Yeah. I think that 5-day turnaround really had anyway, I don't know, but yeah.
And I think a few of our boys were carrying injuries, and then they got injured during the game, and it was like, and then there was heaps of in both halves, but the amount of drop balls, knock-ons, they were having a hard time. Even some of the passes were shit, and I was just like, wow, okay.
He's got a habit of doing. Oh, he's not a habit, sorry, but he's done it in a few games where Rocco Berry tries to do those real flash passes onto Dallin, and all they do is go out, go over the fucking line. Big ups to him, though. I'm not trying to diss any of the boys. I'm just that last 2 minutes was just really disappointing for me.
Yeah, and even Dallin's they tried that Dallin scored. Sorry, John. They tried that Dallin scored. Like, he's been spectacular the last month, and even his dive just seemed quite low key. He just kind of rolled in. It was a really cool shout out to Henry Farfeli too with the try celebration. But but he was but like he didn't fly in the way that he had previously in the last 3-4 matches. It was just like rolled in, and I got it.
I think at that stage, I think he had taken quite a few hits as well. That was the second half, I think. I don't know, but
because one thing with Dallin, man, like, not only he's probably one of the cleanest fucking finishers in the game, to me. And the flashes, like, I think he's one of the flashiest try scorers in the whole comp. But yeah, just some messy passing. Like, I don't know where that came from, but because usually they've been really disciplined this season, but I don't know what was up on. Maybe it is fatigue, maybe some nerves there as well. But we're really lucky. And I admire the boys. I thought their fucking defense was on. But if we're going to stay in the top 4, there's no way we can be letting teams in, especially like Storm and Penrith. There's just, when it comes to playing them, and if it comes to that, but it doesn't matter what team we're playing. Every team has a chance of winning against any other team. We saw it with the Tigers. They beat Penrith. They beat the Cow. And whether or not they're at the bottom at the table, that's got nothing to do with it. What I'm saying is that when a team comes out with the right mentality and 100% physically fit, anything is possible.
Yep. Especially if you don't show up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, right. 100%. Absolutely.
Actually, now you guys have made me really, because I guess myself, I wasn't too disappointed in that kind of last 10 minutes. I thought the boys did well to actually hold on. Like, there were some real spectacular things that Canberra Raiders did to actually get those tries. They weren't like, it was a bit of talent that was kind of played into it. Like those kick to, for a second row to do a kick, and kind of stuff, like, it's not normal. But one thing is that, like, yes, we had a 5-day turnaround, but also I think we're forgetting Canberra Raiders had a bye. So these guys are up for it, and probably we were most tired too. So, to actually hold out and get the win. I've seen the game a bit more of a positive light than I probably was after watching it.
I was gutted when they scored that last try though. When he got past, it was just like, fuck. And Jack Watson, because I don't like Jack Watson, but of all the guys to score, he scores. He puts his hand up, and it's just like,
and the big jump.
And the big jump, and it's like, bro.
But I was cheering.
Do you think, though, maybe I'm going into this, maybe it's after we do our ratings, but do you think us as Warriors fans, because we're winning so much, we've got this like almost high expectation of our boys a little bit lingering? Like,
definitely,
I think I'm definitely guilty of that, because previous matches we've scored, 40 points, and they're so like the other night I was just like, I was happy with their effort. Like I just thought they were phenomenal on their defense, but just those errors kind of, I was just like, what's going on here, But yes, Ty, to answer your question, yes, I do think my expectations are up there now, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just goes to show how well our team's playing.
Yeah, I agree.
We expect better from them every week, and to be honest, I think our game on Friday, we were probably only playing at 60% of our best,
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, 60-70% of our best. I think we're fucking way better than that. And I say that because I love them, and I just think they're just truly way better than fucking what they put out there on Friday night.
Yeah,
and that's my honest opinion.
I agree with you. No, I think it's good. I think it's good for us as fans to be holding them to account for once. I think it's always been like, if we get a win and we scrape in, it's great to get there. But I feel like it's good to be in this ballpark. But I feel like I think what really matters personally is when it comes to finals. You can win all these games and then we get smacked in that first round, second round. It's like what's it all for? So I like how Webby's talking about is like, are we learning anything every game? And I feel like there were still things to our game, that we probably can do better, especially heading into the kind of closing in. So that's kind of how I see it.
Yep.
Well, and it goes back to what you were saying before when Webby said, when you get yourself in trouble, how are you going to get yourself out of it? And that's not the first time he said that. He said it a few times through the season, and he's just instilling it in the playing squad, and the boys, and they're taking it on board because so when their golden point kicked off, our boys looked far more relaxed than what Canberra did. Or that's how I kind of read it. Canberra, the boys just looked like they were ready just to kick on. And that's another thing we haven't seen with the Warriors for a long time either. But they were, they looked far more settled than what Canberra did heading into that extra time. The boys knew they just had to get on with the job. So,
I think he just gifted us that by that atrocious kick he did, and Charnze, just being the fucking awesome fullback that he is, just put his foot back in there and go and scored us a 7-tackle set.
Yep, smart play.
Yeah, man. I was just like,
absolutely.
And then, mate, next minute we were 70 meters upfield, and
yeah. Big ups to the, because I don't remember how we got that up that side of the field. So big ups to, it was either Addin, it was either frickin' Barnett. I don't even know who it was. All I know is that we just had to get up there, and by the time I turned back around again, we were up there, and I was just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Is he in range? Yeah, is he in a pocket? I think he might be. So,
and he had that big ginger.
Addin kind of redirected himself and went right into the middle of the park.
Right.
Right in front of the goalpost. But that was a beautiful run by Harris as well. Yeah, man, that was a
was Tohu. Was Tohu got us up there as well? I don't remember finding.
Yeah. But that big ginger, because he was one of the markers, comes flying out, full stretch, tries to dive, and Shawnee got the better of him, but. And I don't like him anyway, but that Canberra pack were, I actually thought the Canberra forwards, they played well. They played really well, especially there was times in that second half, more so the later stages, but they started putting the pressure on, and the momentum definitely started to swing their way.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it was a really even balance of, but then I looked at, did you guys check out the team sets?
Yes.
So
I did. I had to.
So all the stats favoured the Raiders. So they had more possession, more fucking whatever it was. Their tackle efficiency was higher. They made way more tackles than us. So they won all the stats. So that in itself is a really good thing to take away from the game. Because I think we only had 46% possession of the ball. So that says a lot too. We missed we missed, I don't know, I think it was 27 tackles. And I don't know if that's a lot. Is that a lot for a whole game?
Across the squad, across the playing squad, it's,
So
I mean, that'll feed into our, the
So
player
like
ratings, but
well, no, if you're counting the 17th, I think it was 27 or maybe it was 37. I don't know.
37 sounds worse.
Yeah, a lot worse.
37 sounds heaps worse, right. But to their credit, the boys, they dug in and they got it when it really counted. And that sort of mentality heading into the playoff, even though everyone's talking about we've got the easiest run into September, it's like,
Nah.
But I mean, it's like, those bottom 8 teams, they got nothing left to play for. So why not knock out? Why not make it harder for those teams above us? Let's go for their one win. We know we can put on these guys.
I mean,
that's what
the Warriors be.
Look at the Knights on the weekend over Melbourne. I mean, fuck, they, because in the first, I think it might have been 20 minutes, it was just like, oh, fuck, no, yous are going to get torn to shreds, and then I don't know what happened, man, but their mentality just switched and they were just running that field like they owned it. They were just like, hell no, man, no way. And they came to party. It was a really, really good game. Probably the second best out of, like, next to the Warriors game. I think that Knights and Melbourne one was probably one of the best.
Nice. To your point, Tanya, around the 27 missed tackles. I might be wrong, but I think it's usually around the 30s. Most teams are missing tackles. So for the boys only missed 27 tackles, it's a pretty good effort. It's not the worst.
Phew! I'm glad you said that, Ty.
When you consider how dominant the Raiders were in the last 20 minutes of their second half, as you said earlier, they had 40-something tackles against the Raiders and were able to hold them out all that time. So I think they defended pretty bloody well.
Yeah. Because they were on 6 points for a majority of the game.
Yeah.
So it was just those last, I don't know when they scored their second. I can't remember that. But, it was just that last 2 minutes where maybe they had that mentality where, oh, fuck, we've won. 5 minutes to go. They're like, oh, yeah, sweet, we're up by 10. We can just probably calm the Jets a little bit. Who knows? But, defence was main. We got the dub from a beautiful field goal from SJ. Scored a couple of nice 7 tackle sets. Even Montoya cracked us one. Oh, Dallin, when they kicked it out on the full, and he was onto it enough to put his foot over the line. There were some real clever plays there by the boys, I thought.
Can I just chuck in the? Oh, sorry, Ty. You go, bro.
No, you go first. I'll go straight after you.
That Corey Horsburgh is a fucking grub. I'll chuck that out there. That shit that he pulled on fucking Joshy, it was like, the 2 times we played them, he done that to Dylan, and then he done it to Joshy, and I was like, bro, you're a piece of shit, bro. Just and I was hoping the ref would give him, at least put him on record for it, but he, and I was just like, bro.
I think he probably should have been burned, to be honest.
Yeah, because he took him out, and it's just like, far out, ref.
It was dirty.
And that was a clean hit. That was a good hit. And Joshy's giving him shit on the ground, and it's like, that's fair enough too. But Horsburgh just thought you're a piece of shit, B. And that sort of stuff. I just think, mate. And he was actually one of their better forwards too. Trying to get his forward pack back into the team, but when he done that, I just thought, nah, bro, you're not cool.
I actually like, I don't like other players when they're playing our boys, but like if I was to watch a Canberra and Storm game and did that, I'd probably back him 100% because, I can't stand Melbourne. I fucking hate them. I think they're Muppets. But
the funny thing is, if Corey was on our team, you'd love him for that. I think he's just that Jared Warrior Hargreaves, but for the Raiders, he's that guy. And every team, one of those guys, and he's that guy for them.
Yep.
Totally. I don't know if this is probably the perfect time to maybe head into our ratings.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm praying and hoping that I've got the who you're actually looking at this week right. But I haven't done. I ain't gonna do what Real did last week with the awesome introductions, just because I can't. But I thought I'll still do something for our team here today. So we're actually gonna start with Real. Real, I think you got the interchange this week.
Yes.
And I thought for all of us this week, I would love to see, I wanted to see what do we look like in our own Warriors colors. So we've got Real this week. Welcome to the
Oh, bro, I love the hair, bro. Love the
Nice
Real R4.
This is Real R4.
Real R4.
Love it, bro. Love it.
So,
wait, I'm gonna have to get his signature, bro. Yeah. Oh,
I'm dreading this now. Who the hell am I going to be?
So yeah, you know what's in store now. So Real,
yeah.
Yes,
sweet, bro.
Go for a break.
Right. Yeah. So Bunty, Bailey, Josh, and Dylan were interchange. Yeah, bit of a mixed bag. But I'll go from the lowest score to the highest. So Bailey came on in the second half, and he was on for 22 and a half minutes. In that time, he made 62 meters, 7 hit-ups, 33 post-contact meters, but only made 12 tackles, which doesn't sound like a lot for the amount of time that he was out there. And he missed 3 tackles. So yeah, and I mean, even on review, watching him play, he does bring his own energy, and those defensive patterns, the tackles he did make, they stuck. I think it was Bailey and Joshy that done that hit before the big Ginger goofball jumped in. But for me, I do like Bailey Cernan. I think he gets a bit of people are kind of questioning whether he should be on the bench or even in the wider squad. But I think it was a bit of a hard one. Out of the 4 that had to rate, he was just those defensive numbers kind of dropped him down. So for me, I gave him a 4.5 out of 10. Next cab off the rack. Bunty. So Bunty played, Bunty only played 12 and a half minutes in the second half. Yeah, so he wasn't out there for long, but he was very industrious. He kept himself busy. Not so much with the attacking meters. So he only ran for 18 meters. That was 2 hit-ups, 6 post-contact meters, but he made up for it with 16 tackles, 1 missed tackle, but 1 tackle break. So he broke the line. So in the very short time he was out there, defensively, and that's always been one of his strengths, he was, he's making his tackles. Yeah, okay, he missed the 1, but generally he's pretty safe around the ruck play. If guys are running at them, 9 times out of 10, Bunty will get them. And I guess my score was more a reflection of just the time, the lack of time spent on the field. So I gave him a 5 out of 10. Next for me was Joshy. Joshy was on for all of the first half and 7 minutes into the second half. So on for 47 minutes. Ran for, this doesn't sound like big numbers, especially for a second row, but ran for 26 meters. There was 3 hit-ups, 10 post-contact meters, but he made 26 tackles. And he, those are good numbers for a second row on defense. So, what he lacked in yardage, taking those hit-ups and stuff, he made up for in defense. 1 missed tackle, and he didn't break the line. But, and again, Joshy's always going to be that guy that when he gets out there, and thankfully we've got a few players like that, but he brings the energy. you know, and even even after that really good hit he done, even after that really good hit he done, he's still out there. He's still giving them hell. So for me, Josh got a 5.5. Now I scored him there because part of me was thinking he was working, but he was out there the longest out of the bench, all of the first half and a bit of the second half. So yeah, it was. I figured, you know, he could have been doing a bit more, but I'm always going to love the energy that Joshy brings to the game. And my last one was Dylan. Dylan was on for 35 minutes in the first half, or just under 36 minutes, sorry, and 7 minutes into the second half. He was the workhorse out of all four of them. Ran for 113 meters. There was 8 hit-ups, 33 post-contact meters. Made 25 tackles. Made 2 missed tackles, but he breached the line twice. So like the thing I like about Dylan is the skill set he brings. You know, trying to set up players. He's like that. He's like Tohu. Probably not so much Shawnee or even Metcalf, but he does set players up. He does put guys through gaps and stuff. So and I like that the yardage, him kind of just rolling the sleeves up and getting those meters for us. It was he was running well. He was running well. And I think he hurt his ankle or his knee second half. So like a few of the players, there were those niggly injuries that they were carrying into the game. But he managed to run it off and just kind of carried on. So with that said, Dylan for me got a 6 out of 10. Yeah. So that was my bench ratings. Out of all of them, it was probably Dylan and Joshy really did carry the bench. The other two, kind of dropped off a little bit. And I think it was Bunty. Yeah, I think if Bunty had a bit more time out there, then of course that's the coach's call. But yeah, he in the 12 minutes. And the just over 12 and a half minutes he was out there, he was getting stuck in. That's my ratings for the bench.
Nice.
Awesome, bro.
Nice ones, bro. Nice one.
Awesome. And I just wanted to comment. I think, we're so used to, especially for the last month, right, with our bench of Dylan Walker and co. Once they come on, seems to change the game. I think it's the first time where that didn't kind of happen, which was kind of cool to see. Is kind of see, how do we react? Which we reacted all the way until the 70th minute. Then obviously kind of after that.
Yeah.
So cool. Awesome. Cool. Thanks for the help. So for our next person, we're going to go to the forwards, and I think it's yourself, Tanya. Am I correct?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. So obviously we don't have our One New Zealand or our Wahine Toa playing in NRLW this year, so I had to, find someone for yourself. I kind of think this is looking a little bit like you, Damien, but hey, it is what it is, eh? So we got Tans here.
Oh my Lord.
Have you been converted?
Yeah.
Tanya Barnett.
That's my twin.
Wow.
That's mean, bro.
Go for a Tans.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's a cracker.
So firstly, I just want to say that our forwards are elite, man. Like, they're just like probably one, if not the best forward pack in the comp. Like, their stats are just pretty fucking good, So I'm going to leave Addin till, actually. Anyway, Jackson Ford, I thought he had a really good game, man. He made some really nice runs and ran some real good lines. I thought he was actually, I thought he was awesome. So he played the full 82 minutes. Fuck, I'm sure these stats I think 6 runs apparently for 49. I don't fucking believe that.
Wow.
Runs for 49 meters, but he made 51 tackles with 5 misses, and he cracked the penalty. Marata, 20 minutes, scored a try, 2 runs, 15 meters. He got a line break, a tackle break, 11 tackles with 2 misses. Tohu, mate, this guy's just a workhorse. 54 minutes, 10 runs for 90 meters, 24 post-contact meters, 1 tackle break, and 50 tackles with only 3 misses. And that's in 54 minutes. Wow. But can I just read you Addins? Like, mate, this guy's, 69 minutes, for 20 runs, 205 meters. He even got 12 kick return meters, mate, a fucking 89 post-contact meters.
Wow.
89 hit-ups, 34 tackles, and 3 misses. And I'm just like, when I saw the post-contact meters, I was like, mate, and that's why he's up there on the, I thought that was huge, man. Huge effort. And he's just there every week. And, I think the last couple of games, I think Jackson Ford's playing fucking really well at the moment, eh?
I didn't watch it much
in that 20 minutes. And honestly, I think when he went off, that's when our momentum changed, especially with the few errors that happened as well. A few of those passes that just went amiss, and him going off, I think that really swung the pendulum and changed our momentum. But yeah, big up to our forwards, man. I just think they're the best, and I reckon they deserve a 9, 8, 9. Yeah, I just think the mahi goes in the stats, and even though last week I didn't go by stats, this week I'm just reading through, and I'm just like, man, for a big fella to play. And can I just say also, when I was reading the stats, Tohu's got one of the fastest plays of the ball. And that's pretty cool, considering he's a big body. So, and it's like, I think Luke Metcalf might be one of the slowest. So it's really surprising to me that our bigger boys are actually faster players, because there's more of them to get off the ground, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, our bigger bodies, so it's going to take them probably longer to get up off the ground, but their play of the balls is a lot faster, our big boys. So yeah, big ups to our forwards.
Big ups to our forwards. Yeah, nice one, Tans. Yeah, so I didn't really pay that much attention. Now that we're doing these stats, I only look at the guys that I'm looking at when I'm at the stadium. So it's good to see that Jackson Ford's carrying on his form from last week, because I had the Fords last week. So good to see.
Nice. Awesome. Cool. Thanks for that, Tans. For our next person, we're going to go with yourself, Nick, and I think you've got the backs this week. Is that right?
Yeah, mate. I got edges and our centers. So our right side and our left side. So
cool. So
let's go.
Had a bit of play with Nick, and this is what Nick would look like in a Warriors jersey.
Wow.
It's like looking in the mirror.
Nick Montoya out here.
Yeah.
It's like looking in the mirror, my bro.
Nice.
Go for it,
nice.
Nick.
Yeah. When you're at the stadium, just looking at the 4 players that I had, I actually had to go back through the stats like Tans did, just to see some light. Just to see some light in this tunnel, because I was actually putting it quite dark with the boys. But after looking through the stats, I was just like, oh yeah, nah, shit, I remember that. Yep, I remember that. It wasn't just mostly handling errors and fuck ups. So before I get into stats, I'll say the right side. The chemistry wasn't there like how it was in previous games, I think, and they know it. Everyone knows it, right? So luckily in that first half, really glad the right hand edge came out completely different to what they were in the second half compared to the first half, right? So I counted. I think Dallin picked up an injury on one of those tackles. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Was it in his head?
Somewhere somewhere. But you know, I remember seeing him a couple of kick returns, diffused a few kicks. Obviously got a try. Yeah. Yeah. So I was looking at his stats and like pretty impressive, because going through them. Well, what do we have him at? All runs. Hold on, find it. It's going to get this one up. 11 runs, 92 meters, 37 kick returns, 28 post contact, a couple of line breaks, couple of tackle breaks. Yep, couple of tackle breaks. 7 tackles, 1 missed. Now wow. I will say that Jack Whiten try. He was shifting over. Him and Sean was shifting over, and I think he was looking at Croker. He thought Croker was going to get the ball, but he should have been looking at Hopewadi, and Hopewadi got on the outside of him, which must have just made his year basically, because like fucking hell, Dallin's like scored so many tries against that dude. So he got on the outside of him, and then Dallin just didn't have any gas. He just couldn't even keep up with him, let alone catch the dude. And then he passed it back inside the Whiten. So yeah, I think he could have done better on that one. But so I think out of my backs, I'm still giving him a 7 because of the energy that he brought. The energy that he brought in that game. He still gets a 7. But yeah, just the energy just wasn't there. Yeah.
True.
Over to his centre. This is the reason why I have to go through the stats, because all I can remember, Rocco was like passing the ball behind Dallin. An error here, an error there. First half wasn't great, but again, like I said, coming out in the second half. So jumping into the bro stats was actually pretty good, right? So 134 run meters. Yeah, 134 run meters, 4 kick returns, 47 posts. He actually broke the line once. Obviously a try assist over to Dallin. 2 tackle breaks, 3 hit ups. So shit, you know, looking at those stats, you go, he's had an amazing game. And he also missed 0 tackles.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did he get the most meters for the backs then?
No. Marcelo by about 160, and he was 130. Yeah.
Oh shit! Nice.
So based on that, and the energy that he did bring into the second half, he's getting a 6 out of 10. He's getting a 6 out of 10, but I'm pretty sure he knows what he needs to work on. And you know, it's just unfortunate, really. He comes from his best game of the season. Now, I wouldn't say it's his worst game of the season, but you know, he's come from his best game of the season where like he couldn't do anything wrong, scores a try. Those passes to Dallin were like sticking. That pass that just went a little bit behind Dallin, and it was just a little bit in front of him. There could have been try time in the 3rd minute. But hey, you know, he's still a young dude and he's still learning. So I'd say the right side. If I was to like choose just the right side, I'd give those guys 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10.
Nice.
Now, over to the left side. This is where it gets kind of a bit sticky for the boys. So, you said that they scored some pretty spectacular tries, Ty. I don't know about that, bro. I really don't know about that. Their first try that they scored was through a handling error of Marata, right? He dropped it. And to be honest, like I think even in the last game, it was just like they were scoring tries off our mistakes. You know what I mean? That Rapana kick. When I have a look at it in the replay, I think Adam just thinks that it's going to go dead, so he's not going to try and help Marcelo at all, because it was quite high. So the brothers seen it, and as he turned, Rapana is already ahead of him. Right? So I was just like, bro, and I know it's deep in the game. It was at the 63rd minute. Fatigue could be kind of like setting in here, but it was just too easy for Rapana to get that ball, bro. You know what I mean? There was no blocking. There was like, he didn't even try and like shoulder him or anything.
But that goes to show Fogarty's footy IQ, because instead of kicking it out the other way, where he knows Dallin can just, fucking ear Dallin, he can get right up there. I don't know. I don't know if Pompey and Montoya are as athletic as Dallin and can get as high as him, to be honest. But anyway, he's an international winger, and even though he's getting on too, like I think he's the same age as SJ, 32, but I still think, man, that man can play, and he's just a winger through and through. He knows his shit on those, you know.
Montoya?
No, Rapana.
Oh, Rapana, yeah.
I don't care what, you know, like, I think he's a hard man. He'd be a hard man to defend, you know.
Oh, I get that. It was just that I think it could have been handled a bit better. You you got this dude running down through there, and it just kind of looked like, I talk about the chemistry on the right hand side. I don't think the chemistry has been with our left side all season.
That's concerning.
It is concerning. But
I tend to agree with you on that.
Bro, I was going to say too. Sorry, just so when Rapana scored, because Canberra had been trying to kick the door down through the forwards for like a 10 minutes, whatever it was. It felt like it, and for Fogarty to then go out wide, but Jordan and I love Jordan Rapana, but he scores that try, then he threw the ball back at Montoya, and I was thinking, follow this guy, man, cheeky fella. After he scored it, I just thought, that's just him, But kind of just put him in his place.
Yeah, totally.
I wouldn't be too surprised if Montoya hadn't been talking to him through the game.
It
might have been a reaction.
I often wonder what those, when they're making a tackle, what they say when they've got that player on the ground. I'm like, because you can see their lips moving sometimes, and I just think, what are these guys saying to one another? Like, you little bitch, stay down there, or whatever it is that, the shit they give each other.
Oh, we remember what Marcelo said to Kyle Felt a couple of years ago, eh?
Exactly.
When you got suspended for that, eh?
That's right.
So just looking at the left side, if I just run through these stats, I was pleasantly surprised. So we'll start off with our boy AddinFonua-Blake. 122 run meters. 50 post contact, one line break assist, 3 tackle breaks.
Wow.
2 dummy half runs, which he made 10 meters. Freaking 95% tackle efficiency, 21 tackles made. The most tackles made out of both edges.
Wow.
And he missed one, and he diffused the kick.
Yeah, man. And that tackle he got, was it Emery Gula? He tackled on our line. Was one of those big Canberra forwards, and mate, and I thought, in all honesty, Pompey had a main game. He had heaps of runs. Yeah. He was just in there, and been his best game for ages. I thought he was great.
No, totally. But I don't think he had, overall, in my opinion, him and Rocco were the same. So I gave him 6 out of 10 as well.
Sure.
Over to Marcelo. He was talking throughout the game. Like a lot of those back, the back three were, giving the players shit. But having a look at him, he had the most run meters, 160. 9 kick return meters, 54 post contact meters. So the most post contact meters, 1 line break. 100%.
No, sorry, keep going. Sorry.
100% tackle efficiency because he only made 3 tackles.
Wow. Okay.
4 kicks diffused. But yeah,
he was good under the high ball.
He was very good under the high ball. But I gave him the same score, 6. So look, right side, not so good in the first half. Came to life in the second half. The surprise for me was AddinFonua-Blake, because without those stats, I would have probably given them a lot lower score than that. So overall, for our backs, giving them a 6 out of 10.
True.
Nice scores. And I think,
that was tough fun.
Especially how it kind of turned out, right? But I was going to say, yeah, definitely that first try wasn't spectacular by any means. It was a drop ball and just picked it up, and he just went to score. But I I think to your point, Tanya, you raised it. Like, if you actually look at some of those tries, even the try that was disallowed, where Dalen hit Sebastian, Chris, and they didn't score. Fogarty recognized that Chance came in the previous tackle, and he put it behind.
Yeah.
And I feel like the same thing was with Rapanga's try. They realized that they were crunched, so he knew to kick it to their corner. So I feel like they were all well worked. The last one, or the second to last one, where Rapana did that little chip to Elliot Whitehead, was a little bit of just off the cuff kind of magic. But I feel like those kind of tries plus the last one, you're not playing a bad time. You're not playing a bad side. That's why I feel like a lot of it was a little bit worked. And I'm sure Damien was cheering as well. As like, oh shit, the Warriors gonna lose as well.
Both emotions once, really.
That would have been the laugh, watching someone score for both teams every time they fucking scored a try, and you got, yeah, the Warriors scored. Oh yeah, the Raiders,
Yeah, literally, you're like, yeah, they scored, and you're like, oh fuck.
But yeah, have to say going forward, Fogarty's a big piece of Canberra.
Oh yeah,
playoffs or not?
Yep. Yeah, he's a good pickup.
Bomb's gotten fucking bigger.
Yeah,
I mean, Fogarty. His bombs got in huge. Like
they were crazy. They were crazy.
Yeah.
I think this season they've been pretty massive, eh?
Yeah, his bombs have never really been that big. But in the last week when they played, I don't know who it was, but I've watched a few of them the last few weeks, and his bombs have been enormous. Like, I mean, bursting bombs.
It's awesome, mate. Yeah, I'll have to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. But
cool. Thanks, Nick. Thanks for doing the backs. Now we've got our last, ratings with Damien. Damien's got our spine this week. And let's all see what he would look like in Warriors colours.
Oh wow!
I think it's pretty spot on.
You could be his daddy.
Pretty close.
Might have cut off the dreads here a little bit, but hey.
Yeah. Bit of a haircut, but that's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, bro.
So yeah, hit us, Damien.
Sweet, bro. So I'll start off with the hooker, Wade Egan. Wade Egan played the entire 82 minutes, which I thought was pretty impressive. Pretty nice service from dummy half, including really nice accurate passes and some nice runs. Stat-wise, he had 1 try assist, 1 line break assist, a whopping 55 tackles, 4 missed tackles, 1 turnover. He ran for 26 meters and had 1 6-again infringement. So I thought he had a pretty good game overall. So I've given him a 7.5.
Nice.
Moving over to Luke Metcalf. I thought he had a game of 2 halves, literally. So first half wasn't too flash. A lot of errors, including a knock-on and some really bad passes. But he really improved in that second half. Some nice passes and almost scoring a try at the 53rd minute. So that was good to see from the young fella to be able to shift it around in the second half like that. Stat-wise, I've got him down for 1 line break assist, 21 tackles, 5 missed tackles, 1 tackle break, 3 errors, 45 meters gained, and only 11 kick meters. So I've given him a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, wow, that's fair enough.
Sean Johnson. Sean Johnson had a busy kicking game involving lots of variation, which I thought was really cool. Most of his kicks were very good, but he did have one that I remember that led to a 7-tackle set for Canberra. He did calmly kick the winning field goal during extra time, so I thought he had a pretty good game. Stat-wise, he kicked 2 out of 3 conversions, 2 out of 2 penalty goals. He had 1 try assist, 1 line break assist, 19 tackles with 0 misses, so that's pretty awesome. 1 offload, 1 error, 81 meters gained, 684 kick meters, 2 kicks diffused, and 2 forced dropouts. So I've given Sean Johnson 8 out of 10.
Nice, bro.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. Just moving on to CharnzeNicoll-Klokstad. He apparently played the game ill. Whether it's the same illness that Tohu Harris has had, I'm not too sure, but I thought that was pretty impressive.
Wow.
So, as per usual, he was safe as under the high ball. He had a nice try before half time. He did knock on in the 58th minute, but I thought it looked like a really hard kick to pick up. He had a smart play, catching the ball with 1 foot in goal during Golden Point, which led to the Warriors' winning drive.
Yeah.
So I thought he had a pretty good game. Stat-wise, 1 try, 1 line break, 13 tackles, 2 misses, 5 tackle breaks, 2 errors, 1 turnover, 194 meters, and 2 kicks defused. So given chance, 7 out of 10. Average that out to being overall 7 out of 10 for our spine. So pretty good game, really.
It's interesting that a few players had some shocking first halves. Not shocking, but they had a dodgy first half. And so maybe it was nerves. Maybe it was a bit of a nerves coming through with the players. Who knows?
Well, that Charnze makes sick. I don't know if he's caught that that interview with Charnze on the Warriorholics podcast, but even on that he was sick. Well, I thought he was sick because he was doing little coughs and shit. So I was like, oh, this guy going to be all right for our next game. But I'm assuming they got sick from that Rabbitohs game, playing in that fucking weather.
Maybe.
Yeah.
By looking at the forward stats, I'm just like, man, like, fuck, they just do some mad mahi out on that field. And it just goes with the tackle count and their meters, like, man, they just are really, fuck, we're just lucky. We're lucky to have who we've got in our forward pack. And
it was said that Marata, awesome that he scored that try. He fluffed his celebration kick, but we can figure that. But he when he let that try in, he was because he actually banged his head when Whiten tried to score, and kind of watched it a couple of times, and that's when he kind of because he didn't get up straight away, and then anyway Warriors carried on. Johnson tried to give them the inside cut, and he fluffed it, and then they scored, and it's like they really should have because Dylan was ready to come on, waiting for Marata to come to the side, but he didn't come on till after the try kind of thing. So I was just thinking, mate.
Why did Bunty? What I want to know is why did Bunty only get 13 minutes? Like that's the least amount of minutes he's played all season. Surely, like that's I mean, because he used to start for us, didn't he? Didn't he?
Yep, he started a few games this season.
Yep.
Yeah, even last season he was our starter in I can't remember. But 13. I was really surprised when I looked at the stats because sometimes I checked him as well, and I was like, hey.
I think our benchy props probably will get less minutes generally because Addin will play like fucking 75 of them just about, So you've really only got that other propping position to get minutes out of, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Barney had a good game as well. Barney, there was a few of them. They were just stepping up the whole time. So he didn't. I thought didn't keep. Yeah, I think it was just the way it kind of played out. Uncle Anaru was trying to cater to that big forward pack as well. Because the Raiders they're a big bunch, but we So he kind of The good thing about Bunty is you get what you see what you get from him, kind of thing. And defensively, I do like his defensive patterns. He reads defensive patterns really well.
Yeah,
and he runs that ball hard every time. It's every time he's got ball in hand, he runs. Doesn't care who's standing in front of him.
Agree. And I think like Damien said, right? Like most teams, their second rows, usually running close to 80, if not the other one of them is, and maybe the 13. But we've got a prop that's running close to 80, so he's only going to be able to split minutes with Barnett, and we want Barnett on as long as you can. So I think tactically, in terms of coaching, I think it's been such an awesome year. I know we keep talking about what they've done to prepare the boys, but like when watching their game, sometimes people would hook, with the amount of errors we did in that first half. But I feel like the way the Warriors kind of control their coaching tactics and bringing on the interchange, I think they've really done well. Haven't always got it right, but it hasn't been like, bad. It's been actually really good timing of when to bring people on. I feel like Bunty's just unfortunately getting the not the bad end, but he's only getting less minutes because some of the other boys are just in front of him in terms of picking order.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to talk about, and this wasn't with the Warriors, but that Jack Whiten technical penalty. I maybe need to go read the rules again, but there was one at the start of the game where he was in front of the play and it was a reverse call. Man, I need to go see where that was in the rule book because I feel like every week there's someone doing that, and it was the first time it's ever been called. And for the Warriors, like, wow, we're starting to get the rub of the green finally.
It's pretty unexpected.
When he got called offside.
Yeah, he got caught offside, but he got called. He was in front of the play of the ball. But oh man, I don't know how. I think like every NRL game you watch, there's always someone in front of their play the ball. So it was pretty interesting call.
Well, here's my one. I thought Whitehead was offside when fucking that kick was made, and that's. I was like, hey, is he even fucking behind the kicker? Like, well, maybe it was just my blind eyes, but I was just
No, apparently he was. Apparently he was, because Damien and I were watching, and I said the exact same thing. So fuck off, he's offside. And then I was like, no, actually, he was right. He was in the right place at the right time.
Is there only one that has to be behind the kicker, or both feet?
I thought both, but I can't remember.
I think it's both feet. It is both feet. I just saw no one get disallowed in the weekend.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
But yeah, like at the time it did look offside, and then went up and even called it onside too. So yeah, well, have to go
maybe he reached his arms, probably looked offside. But I mean, it's really hard to keep up with the rules these days because that's like I've noticed with the officials, like certain officials just. They have their preferences on what they don't like. Like you get refs that are fucking real anal about high tackles. You get refs that are real anal about offsides. But that Todd Smith, mate, I was like, bro, like you're letting them lie on us for fucking ages. And you've seen the boys a few times, like, bro, like fucking hell, man. Let them get. We want to play the ball. Like he let them lie on us for a while. I don't know if that swung both ways. I wasn't really concerned about the Raiders, but yeah, I just sort of let them lie on the tackle for a while, like it was just bullshit.
I actually didn't think the ref done too bad. I think he's probably in previous games he's been pretty shithouse when the Warriors are playing, but I actually thought he was pretty fair. And yeah, it was going both ways because we were trying to slow their play of the balls down. There were times when they really got a roll on, but I felt like both teams were trying it on, just to try and stem that momentum.
I was scared when I found out he was the was the ref. I was like, oh, not this wanker again. But, I was surprised he gave us that many penalties. I was like, but yeah, I just don't think that guy should be allowed to fucking officiate first grade games. He just needs to go back to wherever the fuck he came from. Stay in your lane, Todd. Stay in your lane. I just think he's the worst fucking official out of all of them.
It's funny. It's funny you should say that, Earl, that we were trying things on as well, because fuck, we didn't see it.
Yeah. Oh, but again, it's just those little things, and it's just like, our boys, and you do whatever you have to within the rules. But the guys, both teams, and there's players across the board that do it all the time. If they can slow that player the ball down and get away with it, because there was a few times the Warriors, I was thinking, fuck, we should have got pinged for that, and we didn't. And it's just like, yeah, he's at least he's being consistent.
I agree with you. There was a few things that pastime, maybe at the start of the season, we would have got pinged for it. But I feel like, and maybe it's just because we're winning, right? I feel like there's a little bit, like we talked about this a while ago. I think there's just a little bit more trust, and maybe the Warriors are playing the game now. There's not, all this fuckery going on. Where I feel at the start of the season, it felt like if we just did anything, you'd get pinged for it. Like it was a bit different the weekend.
I think it's because we're just playing a whole different level of footy than what they used to. That we're taking the ref out of the game more and more, every week, because we're playing better and not playing, with, we're not scared, we're not frantic, we're just like really composed, and so I think that takes the ref out of the game for us, just fucking, being mentally dominant and focused. Just aware, they're probably aware that, fuck, man, we can't lie in the ruck, we can't do this, we can't do that, because we'll get pinged. And 95% of the time, the boys, we got pinged every fucking, we know, we've watched how many games, and we know how many times we get penalised. But I just think because we're doing so well that, we're taking the refs out of the game. But that Todd Smith, I'm just going to say again, that guy, I'm sure he's just a power tripper, and I'm sure that whistle was glued to his lips, because I'm just like, bro, just get out of it.
Did anyone notice at the halftime when the boys were back in the sheds, the difference between when Webby was talking to the boys, like the boys look super relaxed, but everyone's focused on him, and he's just kind of, obviously can't hear what he's saying, but everyone's tuned into the coach. And then when they went to the Raiders, like Sticky just looked fucking worried. he's holding his book and he's fucking, and it was like, okay, that was an interesting little insight. Like Webby was just doing what he's doing, but you looked around, you scanned the players, and all of them are paying attention, and it's just like, and again, the amount of trust and respect these guys have got in them, they just kind of when the boss is talking, everyone's paying attention. No one's doing their own thing.
They know his game plan. They know his game plan works, right? So
bro, hard.
And it's just that trust. And I like that Sens interview I mentioned earlier. Like I think it was Vossi that was on it, actually, Andrew Voss, and even he said that like with Webster, he's just really calm. Like he's not one of those refs. Like it's not like a Bellamy or a fucking Ricky Stewart. He doesn't his voice. He doesn't come from a place of frustration or anger. He's just like calm all the time and but direct, but not in a rude way. And I just think that where it's at, like he doesn't let him or his players get complacent, or he doesn't build up ego, should I say, where they think it's okay to slack off, or we got this, like we've seen previous seasons where the boys will be up 20 points at halftime, not very fucking often, but times that we were up, and then come the second half, we just never carried that momentum through. And
bold,
and this year, like a huge statement that our boys are playing 80 minutes, and I think most of that's just Webster and his calm approach to the boys, and about the boys finding their identity and what it is that they want to stand for, what it is. Like I think someone else said, they're sick of being the entertainment team, like just going out there pretty much to make up numbers and entertain everybody and just be the team that'll never be kind of thing. And so I just think that he brings a real calmness to our team, and I think that's what I appreciate most about it, is because the boys don't go out there with ego. They just go out there with, we've got a job to do, and
everyone knows the job.
I agree. I was just going to show this. I thought I'll pull it up. So I do think he is behind. Maybe the body's in front, but the feet are behind. So hey, take it for what you want.
Yeah.
Wait, show me again.
There it is.
Here's the evidence.
You know, the body's maybe a little bit in front, but it's actually on the 2 feet, and the 2 feet are behind. So. Well, I actually don't know the stipulation on the rule, but technically,
it's all on the feet.
Yeah, so it's behind everyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just look through biased eyes. That's all.
Yeah, hard out, and I can just see it's on our left edge as well. So, yeah, but I don't honestly, it was Rapana just dropped it, put it on the toe, and no one would have. Yeah, nah, you know, we weren't even expecting that. Did anyone catch the reserves?
No.
Oh, it's the same score.
Same score.
What was this one?
Cup team, Volkman.
Crazy.
Caught the highlights, but yeah.
I said to my wife, there must be a glitch in the matrix.
Well, it was 20-6 at halftime.
Wow.
And
the Raiders.
Yeah. And then it was like, I think it was 20-6. Don't quote me on that. But like, I remember like just sitting there watching the game. I'm watching it with a whole bunch of others, and it looked like the Raiders just turned off. Not turned off. They just couldn't get back in the game. They just couldn't they just couldn't find anything. They were just like a bit flat. And then one try came in, and then another try came in, and then next minute, Volkman goes and steps up and hits the drop goal.
Oh, I did watch a little bit. That Kane, man, like just, and when you watch the New South Wales Cup, you kind of get a knowledge of the depth in our team. And I don't watch it, like I don't usually, because a lot of the times they don't have it on VipBox, I don't think. Anyway, but man, that boy he's mean. He can make some little runs, eh? You know, so we're really fortunate. But yeah, I need to catch up on New South Wales Cup, because it just, like I said, it's good to kind of get a view of, you know, the up and coming players and the depth that we have in our squad. I'd really like to see that Kalani Going have a run, eh? I've seen him named in our extended bench quite a bit, but he's never made it into his debut. But I'd like to see him have a run, maybe. Yeah,
he scored a try, I think.
And someone shared a photo on Facebook on one of the Warriors fan pages with Te Maire Martin, and this guy he said that he's still 4 weeks away. Did you see that?
Yeah. It's like, oh wow, still a wee way off.
Watched games from earlier in the season, and I think it'll be good to see him back. Probably, well, I think it's a bit too late in the season for him to make a comeback with 5 games left, considering one, he's not 100%. 2, he definitely needs to have a few runs in Cup before he probably comes back into the Prem side. But I think I said this earlier, one of our podcasts was, I think he'll probably sit out the rest of the season. I don't think there's any point bringing him back for the last 2 games or whatever it is. But I fucking hope we see Jazz back in the Titans game, because I think he's vitally important to make it this end of the season. Like, I just think he's vital. Yeah, I think we need him coming off the bench, and it's not just his athlete, you know, just the way he plays. It's his mentality, because he comes in with that beast mode that you know, like, oh man,
Dylan Walker feeds off him too, you know.
Yeah, they all do. I think mentality just changes, especially when, you know, it could be after half an hour, 20 minutes, you know, everyone's kind of a bit, you know, puffed out, but when he comes on, he's just amped, and then that boy's, you know, he just, so I really hope he's back for the Titans game.
What do we got? Titans and then Tigers. Okay.
Then Manly.
And then Dragons.
And then the Dolphins.
Interesting.
Oh, bro. I wanted to ask, so the fans and the chant, when exactly did that go up? Was it right at the end?
It was probably about 3 or 4 minutes after you know.
After the drop goal.
After the drop goal, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 3 or 4 minutes. So I know that the Warriors did like the social media thing where they got like Savage over at a school somewhere, and he's recording it with the kids, and that was like I saw that on my bloody timeline Friday morning, right? And he's doing it with the kids, and they're recording the song with the kids, and I was just like, oh, okay, all right, gonna do the team chant with the kids with the swear words, and okay, sweet. But obviously they didn't have the swear words in it, and I think it started going around on Friday. So that's what I say. Like they're kind of stepping up, eh? They're kind of like putting more and more kind of like salt and pepper and sauce on. But I know you, Damien, you got some opinions on this one, so I'll come to you, bro.
Yeah,
what's your opinion?
So just my personal opinion, because this might offend some people, and I don't mean any disrespect to those that have put the video together and the song together. You know, I'm sure you guys have done an awesome job. But to me, that song should only be sung by the team after a victory in the sheds in a private moment. I think they need to keep the public out of it. I'm loving, you know, having chants and having the public all getting into it and making atmosphere. I'm all for that, but I think it needs to be a different song. I think it's a little bit disrespectful to the past. Some players, you know, they've worn that jersey and never won a game. They've never been able to sing that song themselves. And then you get some players like Dallin, for example, played for months with the Warriors before he got to sing that song. I just think that it takes the value of the song away. I think that it cheapens the song, and I think it's turning it into a bit of a gimmick. So I'm not a big fan. Just my personal opinion.
I agree with you on that. It's definitely turning it into a bit of a gimmick. It's definitely turning it into that.
I see your point. I definitely see your point. It kind of takes the emotion out of it, eh? Like that special.
Yep, that makes it special when it's just them. And like if it's going to be a big public song, then do the team need to make a different song for themselves? I think it's a real private moment.
One that up the wires, you know, to the you know, sing that one.
Yeah, sing that one.
And the fan song. Yeah, but I see your point. I totally understand what you're saying.
I see your point too. I was just gonna add and say that I wonder if there was consultation by even the current players to like actually blow that up. That would be interesting, because I think you know, and again, I'm only just thinking from my own personal kind of experience. You know, when playing footy, sometimes the I guess fans or you know your family and friends would love to come in and sing that song as well. And if that was kind of part of the kind of whole plan that the boys were like, yeah, let's get this out, then you know I'd be a bit more with it. But to your point, it does be a bit more gimmicky when it's like like how it's kind of come out at the moment. But if the player said let's do it, I kind of I'd feel different about it if they were like, yeah, we want everyone else to sing it as well. But if they were just like taken by surprise by it, then it's a bit interesting.
I kind of feel this year, especially this year, I kind of get the feeling that not only have the Warriors invested in personnel staff, but I kind of get the impression they've invested in like quite good business-minded commercial kind of people as well. You know, that kind of are taking advantage, and you have to in every sport. Once you've got momentum, you have to like keep on putting wood on the fire, right? And this gimmicky song and you know them taking the Up the Waz song, which is done by that dude over in Australia, and actually putting it on their TikTok behind them banging the drum and the thing. It's just, all these things are coming together, right? And it's I kind of get the feeling it's a big concerted, massive team effort to just throw as much petrol on this fire as possible. Because let's not forget, right? Let's not forget, the bandwagoners can come and the bandwagoners can leave real quickly, right? So thinking about this commercially, we've got about 20,000 people coming to the stadium. Times that by freaking, I don't know, $20 tickets or $30 tickets. I don't know what it is. That's a lot of money. So they're just keeping that kind of thing flowing. They're kind of trying to keep that thing alive. So yeah, I'd expect next week there's probably going to be something else coming out from them, and then the week after that, you know, there's going to be something else coming out. So, but I do respect what you say, True Damien, that you know, I didn't actually take that into consideration that some players have never sung that song before because they've never won a game.
I think for me, bro, it's like it's it's almost like how the name itself, the Wars, has come out this year, and everyone's jumped on it. And Nick, you're right, bro. There's it's just growing, you know. There's that commercial side of it, and like I remember watching it, and I was really impressed. I just thought, whoa, you got a whole fucking stadium doing your chant. But then in the back of my head, I was thinking, well, I hope you're chanting like that when we lose, you know, because it was, you know, let's see how many people are still chanting that when we're on the end of a thrashing or whatever, you know, because it's, I really like it. It'd be fucking choice of, it was just like I think there was a TikTok of, because I asked about when it was, because there was a TikTok of Sean Johnson kind of, I think it must have finished, but he was walking back saying, man, I just got goosebumps or whatever. And I was like, oh, was that after the chant? Or, you know, so, but yeah, if it's tapping into that whole commercial side of it, then because I do remember that during the COVID years, the Warriors, the club itself really struggled. You know, and they were super close to the red line, you know, so maybe it is the club's way of trying to pump and come back into it itself, whatever. But they're doing a good job.
Yeah, without the income, you don't have a team.
Yeah,
sure.
And because there's kind of these two things, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here because I agree with the point. But one thing I would say is that I don't know, has that always been our song? Like, I don't know if that's always been the boys' song. I think I've heard a different song in the past. So that's just a query. And then the second thing is when Rabbitohs win, they've got Glory Glory that plays through the crowd. And like, I think there's a liking to it, you know, and that's the same sort of similar song they sing into the sheds as well. So I agree with the point. I just feel like, you know, are we looking too deep into it, or are we, you know, do we need to lighten up with it, or is it actually going into a commercial space that is actually?
That's a good point.
Yeah, but gimmicky.
That's a good point because I know
tomato.
Yeah, exactly. I think us as fans, and I've said this before, sometimes we like to focus on the wrong thing. I'm not saying that we're focusing on the wrong thing, but we always, as fans, because we love our team so much, we sometimes focus on, you know, someone that wears pink boots, for instance, or someone that's like got a new hairstyle. You know, just like, why has he got that? Or, you know, some other bullshit stuff that doesn't really have any impact on the whole thing. But I think what we have to realize is that, and we all know this anyway, there's a business. At the end of the day, this is a business, and bums on seats and merch sales, and now it's shares and likes, right?
Yeah.
To get sponsors in, you know, this is how many shares and likes we've got. Then we just have to realize, because without that Putia coming in, we're not getting any. I mean, we've got really good players, but we're not, you know, we're not growing the women's. We don't even have a women's team right now. Right?
Yeah.
You know, that's real sad. Exactly. So without that streams of income coming through, there's no Webby, there's no like Webby Juniors, there's no freaking, anyway, all that sort of stuff. So I'm all for it. I'm a commercial guy. I want to see money come in. I want to be spent in the right places though. But maybe that chance should be for the boys. And, you know, someone out there who's really good at composing music and making chants, maybe they need to come up with a couple of cool, catchy chants. Because I will say one thing. At the stadium, it's a bit quiet in the first 15 minutes, man. 10 minutes. I've said this before. That's the bit.
They still got the island drums going?
They're very quiet. They're very like way down somewhere. I don't think they mic them up like how they used to.
Yeah. Because those island drums used to be like have their own stage, and everyone could see them.
They still do.
Yeah. But you know, they would be fresh in it.
It's toned down a lot, but I think if someone was to come up with a couple of catchy sing songs, maybe just at the beginning of the game, you know, talking about their cheesiness and corniness, but I just feel like, especially that south stand, man, it's dead. It's dead until someone scores a try. Real strange. I think Easter's a little bit more louder, but I've never been there.
Wow.
Maybe we need to do a segment where we rate which has been the best song in the past. Like they keep the faith song, man. That still hits.
Maybe to write a fan verse, like the boys got their you know, what they sing, and then someone write a
go.
You know,
I do think I don't know if this will be everyone's taste, and I'm not even a person that likes kind of this music, but I think for like an entrance song. It would be cool with like alien weaponry, someone like that would do
Yeah,
a song for the Warriors. Like, it's not really my taste in music,
yeah.
but that would create so much hype. And it's very interesting. Like, one thing I have to say was cool. They came out of the tunnel, it was dark and everything. But it's like, I know this. What is it? The stands blocking the other tunnel. I'm so used to the other tunnel. Like, it was actually very interesting coming out that middle and creating an atmosphere out of it. You know, usually you come out of that circle tunnel in the corner, but there's a stand blocking it now, so I understand why they didn't come out of it.
Wow. Yeah.
Boys did run out to alien weaponry a few rounds ago, eh?
Yeah, they did.
It was pretty awesome.
Nice.
Imagine an alien weaponry Warriors song, like,
that'd be me,
that
bro.
would be amazing. That would be amazing.
You might have to go send them a DM, bro, and see if we can get that sorted.
Yeah.
No, but Ete Iwi, I think we're going to wrap it up there. We've got a bye next week, so us here are going to kōrero about what we can do for that for next week. We're still going to be coming around for Monday night kōrero. But yeah, I think it's definitely something for us to decide on. Hey, Tarns, you got an idea? Throw your idea out there to the whānau.
So yeah, because of our bye, I was just like, well, what else can we do? So even to the viewers out there, my idea was, let's compile a list, and this is not, you know, like, we're not going to do this. So, you know, the people on here, us five, we're not going to share like information. This is solely your, you know. So to compile a list, you're starting 17 of another NRL team based here in New Zealand. So another NRL based Kiwi team, but the rules are no currently contracted Warriors players, and all the players have to be New Zealand born. They have to be Kiwis.
New Zealand born.
Nice.
They have to be born in New Zealand, and no current. I was going to say not contracted for this year or next year, because I knew everyone will be like, oh, I'll choose RTS and fucking. So yeah, that's the idea. That's the kaupapa. So
all right.
So the starting 17, starting 17, you can use whatever play you want as long as it's NRL and they're New Zealand born, and not and don't currently play for the Warriors. So it could be
Okay. Okay. All right.
Cool.
I think we need to flesh that out. I think I quite like the idea. Let's flesh that out during the week, whānau, and see
that's
what.
That's a lot of homework, because there's a lot of, you know. So you have to do your homework on. Because I mean, there's Kiwi players in every team across the comp, you know. So it's up to you to do your homework, do some digging, and even if you have to dig up stats on certain players and the other teams, then go for it. But those are the rules. No contracted Warriors, and no have to all be New Zealand born.
Cool.
Hey,
Nice.
and Rocco Berry played for the All Blacks.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah,
Mighty
man.
Berry.
Yeah. I thought Rocco Berry was Australian.
Nah.
I'm so proud of Rocco Berry, just for that very fact. I mean, good on you, boy.
Can't represent the good side.
yeah.
That's
He's
it.
seen the light, brother. He's seen the light.
Well done.
Well, yeah, to the next point, I'm sure we're going to flesh out the thing. But were you saying, I was thinking a Kiwi side. Are you saying like another second NRL Kiwi side? I was thinking like the Kiwis.
We haven't.
No, an 18th team.
Yeah. Okay,
18th.
then. So then maybe we have to pick the city it would be in too. That would be interesting.
Yeah, so an 18th NRL team comprised of New Zealand-born players only, and no Warriors players.
Okay.
Why do they have to be New Zealand? Why do they have to?
You can use ex-Warriors players because, well, you have to, because most of them came through our ranks anyway. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So,
I think that makes it easier now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go all Warriors players, Nick.
The reserves.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Actually.
Can't use any of our 30. So any of our 30 players.
No. All good. All right, whānau. Hey, listen. Have a good one. Rest up. It's gonna be a painful week because there's no footy on.
Raiders are playing.
I was about to say, let's see who.
There's some good games on this coming weekend. There's actually some good games, so I'll be down for that. But you know what your homework is, fellas?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, better get going.
I got a couple.
All right, Fano. Have a good night, eh? Have a good night. Have a good week.
Thank
I'll
you.
see you guys next week.
Go the fucking Warriors.
Up.
Oh, wow.
Go the fucking Warriors. Thank you.
See you, bro. See you.
See ya.
See ya.